Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I've got my May makes to show you. So this will probably be my last monthly makes video. Obviously I show you guys everything that I make anyway, but I'm not doing in June, I'm not doing a June plans video. I am doing an activewear module plans. Okay, so in June, I am going to be doing an activewear plans video. Well, we're in June, but you know what I mean. But I'm not necessarily going to have that finished by the end of June. So that is it's just going to be an activewear plans. I'm doing it module style, and I'm doing 3 modules, I think. And actually a little bit more because I think I'm going to make my daughter some more stuff as well. But that's going to go kind of June and into July. And that's not the only sewing I'm going to be doing in June and July. That's just kind of, I'll be showing you guys stuff as I go forward, whether that be a sew the look video or even just a, hey, here's some things I've been making in, recently, that kind of thing. But I have a big pile to show you. I did not get through all of my plans for May, but I did have a few things, I think a couple of things that squeaked in that I hadn't planned on doing. But anyway, there's a lot here. For me to share with you guys. You've seen most of it, but I am going to show you footage of me wearing it as I go through everything. All right, so speaking of activewear, we're going to start with my daughter. And all of this stuff, none of this, she actually was wearing this yesterday, so a big pile of stuff on my lap here. Okay, so I made her some test garments. Well, not test garments, they're actual garments for her to make. But I wanted to see the patterns that I had purchased for Activewear Month. I just kind of wanted to see how those fit onto fabric and how much I kind of needed for everything that I wanted to do. And was able to very much determine that a yard and a half or a meter and a half was pretty much perfect. So for my daughter, I made her the, and I used just 2 fabrics. I made her the Green Style Creations Stride Leggings. And I didn't put a tag in these. I hope she was wearing these correctly when she had them on the other day. I guess it says. So this is the back. And I also didn't get that jog very well, did I? Good gracious. Well, these were kind of a wearable muslin. Anyway, these are the Stride Leggings by Green Style Creations. I did the ones that have these nice big pockets in the side so that when she is riding her bike or walking or whatever with her friends, she can put a phone in here. My kids both purchased Apple Watches with their own money right after Christmas, and the less expensive ones. They're like the Model 3 or whatever, so they were like a $200 watch. I mean, still expensive watch, but they used Christmas money and bought those each themselves, but they don't have cell service to them, so you have to have your phone nearby in order for those to work, for sending texts and taking calls and that kind of stuff. So they will work for that, but your phone has to be close. So I thought I would put the deep pockets in. That allows me to contact her if I need to. I used the fabric, it's kind of hard to tell, but this fabric here is kind of sheer. So I did that up the sides here of the pants, but I doubled up on those. I backed it with the solid watermelon knit up here where it wraps around the body and onto the rear end. Used my old cover stitch. This is before I had my new cover stitch machine, but used the wrong side of the cover stitch to do my hems just because I think that looks like a nice athletic stitch, where I closed off the pocket down here. I did the 7/8 length, so I think it's called cropped. So they've got a short length, a capri length, a cropped length, which is like a 7/8 pant, and then full length. And I did the cropped on her. I can't remember what size I made her, to be honest. The Green Style Creations, they do their sizes like A, B, C, D, but it fits her perfectly. Like her measurements, the size that her measurements said to make fits her perfectly. So those are the leggings and kind of the details on those. All of this is Green Style Creation patterns. Next up, I made the Green Style Creations Power Sports Bra for her, which is right here. Obviously you can't see this in the footage I'm showing you because it's underneath everything, but it fits her really well. She wore this all day yesterday, said it was very comfortable. We made the keyhole back, so I used the contrasting fabric for the keyhole back. I just figured if she ever is wearing just like one of those loose tank tops that kind of shows off your sports bra a little bit, that'd be really cute to be able to see that. You can't see it with this get up, but she did the racer back on this one. There's a strappy back on that bra pattern too. It comes in a whole bunch of cup sizes, and I'm going to be making myself some of these as well. I haven't tested my fit yet, but this fits her perfectly. So exactly how she measured is what I made, and it fits her really, really well. So that's boding well for myself, I think. She's my test subject. But yes, there's the sports bra. I lined the front in black power mesh, and I will talk more about power mesh and what that is, because my fabric video for this month is going to be all on activewear fabric. So you'll be getting a kind of a lesson on what power mesh is, but that's part of the bra. And then the last pattern I used for her was the Elevate crop top and overlay. So this is the crop top that you can see her wearing, and it's just one layer. I say that, is it one layer? Yeah, one layer with bindings in the solid. It has this really cute band that kind of comes up, so just a little bit of her belly shows on that one. I do think someone asked if there was a possibility of being able to put a bra into this crop top, because as you can tell, it's very tight fitting, and I think that there is. I don't know why. This crop top comes with a regular front or a full bust front. I made her the regular front, but I'll definitely, if I make myself one of these, which I would always have something layered over it because I don't want my midriff showing, but I do like it as kind of an alternative for layering purposes. But you can do a full bust front as well. It's got some gathers and stuff at the side that help for a fuller bust. But I kind of feel like you could insert, you know, put the patterns together, because this is the racer back version of the crop top, and it came in a couple different ones too. But it completely, totally covers up the sports bra. You can't see the sports bra at all. So I almost wonder if you could build in the sports bra into this and like put a lining and elastic, because there's no elastic in the crop top. It's just a band that kind of holds things in. But put elastic kind of floating on the inside, and how that would work. I'm gonna have a play around with that during Activewear Month. But yeah, because someone did ask about that. Or honestly, you could just probably line the whole front of this in power mesh, and if you are small busted, that might be enough of compression to be just fine. It would not be enough for me. I would definitely need elastic underneath it, but it might be fine if you are small busted for that. So that's the crop top part of that pattern. And then here is the overlay. And I did this in the kind of meshy see-through. We went with the long sleeve length, and she just pushes it up. So it's a crew neck on the front, and then on the back, you've got kind of a wrap detail, and there's a few different variations on this too, but we opted for the tie variation. You can wear this either way, in the front or in the back, but the pattern does come with a little piece here that you sew in that keeps it from falling off your shoulders, and we found that was very helpful. I'm very glad I used that piece. But yeah, it's just bound on the edges, and then you can either tie it in the front or tie it in the back. She likes it tied in the back. She thinks that looks the cutest. But yeah, she had this all on yesterday for the whole day, and that's how I was able to get some shots of her in that. But yeah, she's very, very pleased with that, and it matches her shoes. So that was a fun little thing too. Okay, let's move on, or this is gonna be a really long video. So those are the first 4 things I made. Well, this isn't in order. This is just literally the order that it's in my lap. So next up is my Sienna maker jacket that I did get around to making. This is view C of the Sienna maker jacket. I will leave a link up to the video. I did a sew the look for this where I talk at length about this pattern, but I made it out of the heavyweight linen from Fabrics-Store. It worked beautifully for that. Yeah, it's just a fantastic little jacket. I used some buttons from my stash that are kind of a tortoiseshell look, but they're kind of shades of green as opposed to shades of brown. It's got the workman pockets. I did the sleeve, or the pocket sleeves on there, which I think, you know, I love that detail. I think that's a really cool detail. Someone asked, I wonder what the French workwoman put in those pockets. I have no idea. But it's very cute. So, yeah, and then it's got the cute back vent detail. Someone also asked, they were having issues with the back vent detail. I'll have to talk more about that, because I had to read it a couple of times to kind of understand. It's not hard once you wrap your head around it. But yes, this is just going to be a fantastic linen jacket for the summer when you're in air conditioning and that kind of stuff, and then also as we go into fall. I think that mustard goes really well as we go into fall. Okay, next up is the Whitney, which of course I talked at length about this. Ooh, and I'll pop a link to that video as well. Hold on, grabbing a couple of things. It would be helpful if I'd had this all in order. Next up though are the 2 Whitneys that I've made so far. I just got the pattern printed off from PDF Plotting, and I'm going to make my daughter one and myself another, I think a top in some red. So I think I just have enough for a top. I'll have to look, but I'm going to do the plain neckband. So here's the Whitney. This is my dress. It's the knit wrap dress from AK Patterns. That is my namesake pattern. It's got the scalloped neckline. It's got cup sizes, which is amazing. It ties like a bathrobe, so I've got little shoestring ties on in here. I've talked at length about this too. And then it wraps over. Someone asked if it would be possible to turn this into like a regular wrap, and yes, you totally could. You would just need to lengthen these ties that are here on the front on either side. You would omit these ties, and instead of sewing a tie in on the side seam, you would tie both long ties into the front of the dress, and then you would just have to put either leave the seam open here or do a buttonhole, and you could easily turn it into a for real wrap dress. It would wrap very easily because the skirt does wrap side seam to side seam. So that is the Whitney dress, and then I also made the Whitney top, all part of the testing, which these are both Art Gallery knit fabrics. They're cotton spandex knit. They're just beautiful. I love a good wrap top dress, and yeah, this was a very apropos namesake pattern for me, I think. So yes, those were the 2 Whitneys I made. Now, with this fabric, I made another, okay. So when I cut out this top, I had a fair amount of fabric left over. So after I cut this out, I went ahead, and I'll show you everything kind of paired together because I made some faux dresses basically. So I cut this out, and then at the same time when I was pattern testing that, I was also pattern testing the Balboa skirt by Itch to Stitch Patterns that you guys saw on Tuesday when that went up in the same fabric. So this is the A-line Balboa that I also cut out of that fabric and made up. And I think it looks really cute with that wrap top. So you can wear them separately, obviously, or also as a faux dress. And then I also had enough to make my summer basics tank that I love. I keep this pattern by my cutting table. It's this and an underwear pattern, the Megan Nielsen Acacia underwear. I keep those patterns at my cutting table, so if I'm cutting out knit things, if I have enough for a tank, just because I love them for layering, or if I have enough for a pair of underwear. I did not have enough for a pair of underwear, which is fine. I'm not crazy about rented underwear, really. I really prefer solid. But yeah, had enough for the tank. Remember to put in this is the back tag, one of the Kylie in the Machine. This is the back, okay. Just so it's easy. It's hard to tell when you pull these out of the drawer which one's the back on these tanks. So yes, and I love those both with both those tops with my new skirt. I have 2 different faux dress options. And then I also made with that pattern test, that Balboa pattern test, I also made the A-line skirt with the flounce. So you guys saw this one too on Tuesday, and I'll pop a link up to that video if I haven't already. So there's that, and the mid-weight Ponte. I have quite a bit of this left. I had 3 meters of this Ponte that I bought, and this used very, very little, so I still have a ton left, like maybe a yard. This pattern is really great. It uses very little fabric. A great summer skirt, just perfect. Also with scraps of fabric, when I made the dress of the Whitney, I had just enough left over to make myself another wanted tee out of this fabric. I used every last bit of both of those fabrics, those Art Gallery fabrics, which is, I mean, they're a little pricey, so it's nice that I was able to really eke out a couple garments out of each. I did the retro sleeve on this, I think. It hits like right at your elbow instead of the 3/4 length. I think that's all I had the room for on this one. But it's the wanted tee, square neckline. It has all the colors in it. So I've been having a whole lot of fun matching this with all sorts of things. And you're gonna see it actually probably quite a bit in this video being paired with other stuff. So not only did I pair it with my Balboa skirt, but also another skirt and my Tapered Pants here soon. Yes, that is the wanted tee, just a fantastic, another printed tee in my repertoire. And now I want skirts and bottoms in all the colors that I can wear throughout the summer. Okay, let's talk about, well, these are next on my lap, so we'll talk about these next. So then our sew along for May was the Kimberly by AK Patterns. I made 2 dresses because I was showing how to, for a pattern that uses facings, how to convert that into a lining so that you can line the bodice instead of just using facings, which is my preference. I made this yellow one here. And let me think. You have not seen these yet. Ah, you have not seen these yet. You'll see these on Sunday in all their full glory. So I'll show the footage here in just a second because I did those horizontally because they go at the end of the sew along video on Sunday. But I made the Kimberly bodice and skirt. So this is all the Kimberly. I omitted the sleeves on this one and fully lined it. And this is the V-neck version, which is the way the pattern's drafted. I put pockets in, and I did leave off the hem bands on both of these, mostly because of fabric restrictions. So this is made in the medium weight Fabrics-Store linen, and this is the one that Marlene gifted me. She had bought some for herself, then had her colors done and realized it wasn't going to work, and so she gifted it to me and sent it my way. I had 2 yards of it, and it was just enough to make this beautiful summer dress, which I'm going to easily layer as the weather cools down in the fall, because this, this gold is just a perfect color for that, and it's in my palette. And then I also made the same dress, which the dress actually does come with sleeves, with the short sleeve version, same skirt as the yellow dress, but I wanted to show how to line the bodice with a sleeve and without the sleeve. But for this one, just to make it a little different, I actually changed the neckline from a V-neck to a scoop neck, and I show you how to do that in the video. That lining doesn't show when I'm wearing it. But yeah, they're just both beautiful fit and flare dresses. This one's made out of a linen rayon blend that I inherited from my mentor Joyce, and it's lined in a real lightweight linen on the inside. But it's just a fantastic little easy breezy summer dress. So because these are horizontal, I am going to really quickly show you those dresses. Okay, so then next, so Athena with AK Patterns had reached out to me. She's just revamping her blog a little bit and wanted pictures of people other than herself for all of her hack videos and blog posts and stuff. So she's asked quite a few of the people in the community to just make up the hack and then send her the pictures so she can update those posts. So she asked me to do a couple of the Kimberly hacks, one of which was the scoop neck, which obviously you just saw, and then another one was just how to make the Kimberly into a skirt, which I did. And I used this beautiful heavyweight linen from the Fabrics-Store, which is the New Zealand one, and this beautiful dark teal color. I did not put the hemband on. I'm actually really preferring this dress without the hemband, to be honest, just because of my height. I had to shorten this quite a bit because I am short, but I really like what the length gives me. I did an invisible zipper in the back, but I stopped it right at the waistband. So the waistband, I just did a little overlap. I drafted my own waistband, which is very easy to do. I'm trying to think. I ended up with a 1.5 inch finished waistband. So I think I cut it the skirt, the top of the skirt, plus 1 inch on each side, plus 5/8 seam allowances, so that I could have 1 inch on each side so I could have this overlap. And then the width was, let's see, 4 1/4. So 5/8 inch on either side, and then I wanted a 1.5 inch. I like 1.5 inch finished on my body just because I'm for proportion reasons. But yeah, I just didn't take my invisible zipper all the way up to the waistband because I do find that that's where you can have issues with zippers breaking. So I stop it there at the top, and then I just put in a skirt, large skirt, hook and eye up there, and I think that finishes it off really nicely when it's on. So that's the back. And it's a center back zipper. And then there's also pockets in this, and I love it with my new wanted tee, amongst other things. So yes, a nice linen summer skirt. It's gonna get a ton of wear. Okay, moving on. Next in my lap here, I have got 3 more things here. So this is the this is the Pattern Scout fern top. And she's got the fern top, and then she also has an expansion pack with a V-neck line and a square neckline. I really wanted to experiment with the square neckline. This pattern does come in cup sizes, which is very exciting. And it's got a grown-on sleeve, but it also has these princess seams. So it's very interesting pattern pieces. You can eke this out of very little fabric because of the way the pattern pieces are. It just makes it really easy. And then there's a dart here, like a French dart. So it kind of starts a little bit lower and comes up to the apex. I made the D cup on mine. I did top stitch down the facing all the way around. I just like the way that that looks. So there's the facing in the back. And then I did the straighter peplum on this one. So there's a fuller peplum that has pleats that you can use, but I went with a little less full peplum on this version. And this lightweight linen, and I didn't want it standing out too far away from my body. If I were doing it in a rayon or something maybe a little bit drapier, I think I would have done the pleats just for something kind of fun, because I can have, because I'm narrower in the hips, that's an okay thing for me to have look a little wider. But yeah, I really like the way this one turned out, and I love it with these shorts that I'm pairing it with here, wherever I'm pairing it with. But yeah, it's the tomato red color. I bought this fabric when I was down at Let's Sew in Evansville, Indiana back in February. So glad we took that trip before everything like hit the fan. I'm almost sewn all the way through all that fabric I bought while we were there. But yeah, it's just a great little linen top. So a little different than wearing a t-shirt, but it still kind of has that like a woven t-shirt feel, but it's got the cup sizes. It just fits beautifully. I really, really am glad that I purchased this pattern. I'm very pleased with how that turned out. And again, I bought the expansion pack. I think the regular top just has a scoop neck, the regular pattern. And then, yeah, you can buy the expansion for the different ones, which they actually have different pattern pieces. So you almost need the expansion and the original pattern for that. But okay, last, and actually these were made first in the month, are my Pietras. So I started making the closet case Pietras, and I started off with making the shorts. And I made them, and I did this on the daily vlog, I made them in this linen blend that I had in my stash. A great color. I mean, these I actually have been wearing, these need to be washed actually. I've been wearing them a ton. So the pattern has a flat front with these really cool pockets and then elastic back. It has a couple of different options. It's got a tapered leg, cropped leg, it's got shorts, it's got a wider leg crop, and then a wider leg full length. I've made obviously the shorts here just to test fit, and I did make some adjustments, and I talk about that all on the daily vlog. Although the adjustments that I made definitely did help. So I raised the center front. I actually just shaved stuff off the top, I think 1.5 inches, maybe inch and a half, and then took it out to nothing at the sides because the back was fine. And then I shaved 3/8 of an inch off both the inseam on the front and the inseam on the back to help I get pooling there, just because of the way my legs are set into my hips. But I really love these. These are the shorts that my husband said he didn't think were very flattering, like out of the blue. I still haven't figured out what he doesn't find flattering about them, but anyway, they put me off. But I'd made these, and then I'd already made the second pair. So then I stopped making, so I was gonna make all 4 and had to think, and I think just what I need to do, and actually the more and more that I've been talking about this, it sounds like almost everyone had to go down at least 1 size, maybe 2. So I think that might be my problem. I think I need to keep the alterations that I've made, but maybe just go from a 12 down to a 10. So that's what I'm gonna do for the last 2 pairs of Pietras as soon as I get a chance to make those up. But those are the shorts, and then I also made the tapered pants in this. This is also the heavyweight linen from the fabric store online. This is the New Zealand one. Clearly I'm loving this color right now. But these make a great pair of pants. Again, these are the cropped tapered pant. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try going down to a size 10 for the wide leg crop. I've got fabric picked out for both the wide leg crop and for the full length wide leg pant. And I would like to get those made up. Maybe in June, if not June, July. But I am still doing vlogging. I'm just posting that up once a week. So maybe on one of these weekly vlogs coming up, I'll take you through the Pietra pants. I'm also, as I go through with my weekly vlogs, gonna title those a little better, so they're not just the same title, so you can kind of, it'd be easier to find things. You know, if I say I talked about the Pietra pants, it'll say it in the title, so it'll be easier to find that information going back. I noticed that I was having an issue with that with the daily vlogging during the stay-at-home order. But anyway, I do really love these. In fact, I had these on earlier today. Went to the kids' orthodontist appointment and I had these on, and they were very nice and breezy, and they will get worn a ton. And that are almost all of my makes for May. I do have one test garment that I made in May that I can't show you yet, but it is getting released. I'm not sure, as I'm filming this, I'm not sure exactly when it's getting released. I know that my final pictures are due on June 7th. So sometime after June 7th, that pattern will be released, and I'm very excited to show you guys the finished garment, because it's wonderful and comes with a ton of options. It's a Love Notions pattern, and of course in true Love Notions style it has a million variations that come with the pattern, but it's a really good one. So hopefully I'll be able to share that with you soon. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I will leave links obviously up to all the videos where you can hear a little bit more in depth about the patterns. If I have had videos that have talked about those more, those will be, I'll link them up. If they're not linked up in the actual video, I will link them down below so that that's easier for you guys to find. If you want to go hear more about the patterns or see what different ways that I was styling them and all that kind of thing. All right, that's all I've got for today. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. I hope you get some sewing in. Sunday, we've got the final bit of the sew along for the 2 Kimberly dresses I just showed you. Obviously, I'll have twirls in that as well. In fact, that same footage. But that will be on Sunday. And then I think sew along wise, I think next week, I'm going to do a tutorial video because I've had a lot of questions about PDF patterns and getting your copy files printed. And where I go for that. Obviously I'm in the US, so I use a US company, but I'm pretty sure it'd be the same process if you have, you know, I know that a lot of the UK seamstresses use NetPrinter or Netaprinter, something like that. So I think there are definitely different companies that do the large format printing as opposed to just your standard copy shop like your Staples or your, you know, whatever, Office Depot, Office Depot, which can be kind of pricey. But I will be talking more about that and then just basically going through and showing you how you upload those and how you get those printed off. So that's gonna be next Sunday's tutorial, and then we're gonna delve into the swimsuit, which is this Butterick pattern, this Lisette Butterick pattern. So that will be the next garment sew along. And then Tuesday, I'm either gonna have the pattern reveal, depending on when this pattern is released. It'll either be the Love Notions pattern reveal, or it's going to be my activewear plans. So we're kind of going away from the monthly plans, you know, now that we're coming out of our stay-at-home order, but I am gonna give a activewear plans because I'm doing it module style. So it won't necessarily be just for the month of June. It'll be, you know, probably all the way up until we leave for Colorado at the end of July, which is the reason I'm rehauling my entire activewear drawer. But yeah, I won't just be sewing activewear. Don't worry if that's not your jam. I'll be doing other stuff too throughout the month, but that's gonna be just kind of the underlying theme going forward until the end of July. Okay, so that is coming up some. So it'll either be, you know, Tuesday and Friday next week will be, you know, one of those two, however that plays out. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Sunday if you're following the sew along, and if not, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye.